mean, it doesn't really matter if you play jazz or extreme metal, or it's just such a wonderful hands-on instrument. It's something that's very cool. And I mean, not that, you know, guitar players aren't hands-on, but, or bass players, we're just so much more expressive because it's directly related to your touch, your soul. You know, it's a very cool relationship we have with our instrument. So, yay drums. All right, I guess I'll take a few questions if anybody's got anything for me. That's kind of why we're here, right? And I can't really see. Maybe bring up the house lights a little bit. I see you. Hard. Right. Well, I think it's got not so much tempo, because obviously people are going to push their tempos and push their limits. I mean, that's what the music's about, plain and simple. What I think has changed is a lot of the organic part of it has been stripped away due to modern day productions. And I mean, I know drummers that are great drummers that don't need to have their kick drums thrown on a grid, but yet they're on a grid in Pro Tools, you know? And it takes all the human feel out of everything. And I think that you'll probably see people move more back in that direction. I'm not really thinking that tempos are, I mean, we're at the end of our physical limits, I think. So I don't really think that the tempos are going to get much faster. But I think that I hope that the organic part of playing drums comes back into it.
I still love it.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. I was just wondering, so quick, my question. You're not in like a touring and death metal scene,
Right.
you're like in certain tribes, or you are certain tribes.
Yeah.
I was wondering if, like, say, George Clooney's from Nile, would be left back,
Right.
or some ones in, could you put in, would you do an album, or you just like,
I mean, I would, as long as it. My problem with is not just extreme metal, but just music in general is like, I don't know about here in the UK so much, but like in the United States, and I'll use an example, like music is not about music anymore, right? Anybody know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same thing as like NFL football. NFL football is not about football at all. It's about culture. It's about, you know, it's about money and advertising, and it's just gotten so far away from the actual game that I honestly can't even watch NFL football anymore. It disgusts me. You know, I mean, and it's the same thing with music. I find myself getting further and further removed from music and resorting more into like nature, if that makes any sense. Like the creek running, you know, in your backyard is way more musical to me than anything that's been released in the last 10 years. And that's just a personal opinion, you know? But again, and that goes back down to that organic part of something. I mean, how many different ways can you hit this drum? I can hit it like, that's one way to hit it, or I can hit it, sounds like a totally different drum. And that's kind of why I think that like people put too much time and thought into technique, because if you're getting the right sound, if you're getting the sound that you're looking for, you're playing with the right technique. Don't let anybody tell you different. Right? Anybody know the Genesis song, you know, Coming in There Tonight? Yeah. A lot of people have tried to get that drum sound, and everybody says, oh, it's the gates, it's all this compression. No, it's not. If you've ever watched Phil Collins play drums, he doesn't play that feel like. It sounds like a different drum kit. It's touch. It's heart. It's how you play. You know, I'm not going to tell Phil Collins that, yo, man, dude, you should open your grip a little bit. You're choking the stick. You're choking the drum. Right? I mean, he's doing it right. He can perform the task that needs to be performed, and he's a musician, a consummate musician. And what more could you ask for out of music, really? And I think that if we all have that goal in mind to become the type of musician that we believe that we can be in our heads, instead of relying on somebody to tell us, you know, what drum to use, what mic to use, this is how your drum needs to sound in the studio. And that's where music has gotten to me, where it's just like everybody's trying to, I mean, every Andy Sneap record I've heard in the last 5 to 7 years has the exact same drum samples on it. You know, it's like listening to the same band over and over and over and over and over again. I'd rather hear heart, you know, for me personally. No worries. All right. Anybody else that I can see? Okay.
I don't know if you remember yesterday, but I got you to sign the drum scheme with Rudiment.
Right.
Do you remember what Rudiment was? And if so, could you demonstrate to us?
This is something I do mostly for endurance. And like, I don't know if you guys were here for Aaron yesterday, he does the same kind of exercise to work on spacing in between notes. And it's simply playing 4 combinations, single strokes between your hand and the foot. You guys have probably seen this a lot. I'm not the first guy doing it, obviously, but you know, taking left foot and right hand. And I kind of multitask on it, right? Where I'll do something like that, and then I'll try to, you know, keep myself from getting bored with the other half. Because I mean, obviously, sitting there going, that's boring. But if you can play something over that and make it musical,